クイッククイックラジオ大阪いざ一新
Obi's Daily Radio Osaka!
Hi everyone, welcome to Obi's Daily Radio Osaka. I'm Haru.
And I'm Obi. Today we are doing the very local version of Kansai. The places, school rituals, festivals, comedians, and old stories you only catch when the radio is on all day.
Our first stop is Osaka Station, where a national day about time turns into a story about falling water, ancient clocks, and a landmark many commuters walk past without slowing down.
I like a story where history is basically hiding near the department store exit that is extremely station core.
Then we move into randoseru shopping, where metallic gold and silver school bags say a lot about childhood, family decisions, and how early Japanese school preparation can start.
A 6-year backpack that costs more than some adults want to admit spending on luggage. I am already emotionally invested.
After that, we go to Gobugobu Festival at Expo 70 Park, meet Fukinshu, the resident Yoshimoto comedian for Higashi Yodogawa Ward, walk Sakai Higashi with Kenji Moriwaki, and end with Rakunan High School's record-setting relay. That is a lineup with water clocks, shiny school bags, festival survival tactics, civic comedy, local pride, and teenage heartbreak through track practice. Exactly. These are not big headline stories in the international news sense. They are the details that make living here feel textured. Let's start with time itself. June 10th is Time Memorial Day in Japan, and the broadcast used that as a doorway into something surprisingly beautiful: water clocks.
Time Memorial Day sounds official, but also like a day when every late person in Kansai suddenly feels judged.
The origin goes back to Emperor Tenji. The host explained that in the year 671, he used a water clock called a rokaku and announced the time with drums and bells.
So before phones, before station clocks, before anyone said, "My train is 3 minutes late," there was literally water and a drum.
Right, and the explanation was wonderfully physical. Water moved down through connected containers, and the water level showed the time. It is timekeeping you can picture.
I need all modern notifications delivered by drum now. Calendar alert, drum. Delivery arriving, drum. Your laundry is done. Extremely small drum.
Please, do not bring a drum into a laundromat. But the broadcast made a clever jump from that ancient system to a very modern Osaka landmark, the water clock at JR Osaka Station.
Now that one I can actually go see. Where is it?
The host described walking south from the central concourse, past Daimaru, towards Southgate Plaza. Near the central south exit, falling water droplets form the time, words, and images.
So it is not just water falling prettily. It is basically a waterfall printer that happens to tell time.
That is a good way to put it. The broadcast said if you glance at it at the right moment, the drops suddenly become a number or a word or a picture.
I love that! Osaka Station is already a maze, and then in the middle of it, water is quietly doing typography.
The host also said the clock had been selected by CNN Travel among the world's most beautiful clocks. But the local charm is simpler than that. It is something many people pass while commuting, shopping, or meeting someone.
And some of us are passing it while pretending we know which exit we came from. No names.
Obi, everyone gets lost in Osaka Station at least once. The point is, Time Memorial Day becomes less abstract when it is tied to a place listeners can actually visit.
That is the good local radio move. Start with Emperor Tenji, land at Osaka Station, and somehow make me want to stand still for falling water.
And maybe that is the small invitation here. Next time you are rushing through JR Osaka Station, look for the clock that turns water into a message. Our second story is about randoseru, the boxy school bags Japanese elementary school students usually use for 6 years.
6 years is the part that always gets me. In some countries, a school bag is lucky if it survives 1 semester and a leaking lunchbox.
Exactly. In Japan, a randoseru is often a major family purchase. The broadcast said the shopping season is already underway for children entering elementary school next spring.
So this is not last-minute back-to-school shopping. This is strategy.
There is even a word people use for it, rankatsu. Basically, the activity of choosing and buying a randoseru. Families compare color, weight, durability, fit, brand, and design.
That sounds like buying a tiny commuter vehicle for a first grader.
This year, the broadcast focused on metallic colors. At Hankyu department store Umeda main store, it said about 100 models were available, and gold and silver bags stood out.
Gold and silver randoseru? That kid is not walking to school. That kid is entering the arena.
The host said around 20% of families with boys at that store choose metallic-style bags. They also mentioned colorful choices like pale blue, soft purple, and pink.
That actually says a lot about changing tastes. It is not just black for boys, red for girls anymore.
Right. And the hosts talked about that tension between what parents think will last for 6 years and what the child loves right now. One parent wanted a color that was not too flashy, but also wanted the child to decide in the end.
That is a very real parenting moment. I respect your individuality, but please remember you will be 9 someday.
The price part was just as striking. The broadcast cited the Randoseru Industry Association survey showing an average purchase price of 62,034 yen.
For 1 school bag. I know it lasts 6 years, but my wallet just sat down.
The broadcast also connected price pressure to materials. Clarino, a synthetic leather material from Karare, has become more expensive. And there were concerns around naphtha supply because of instability near the Strait of Hormuz.
That is wild. A child's school bag in Osaka is somehow connected to global materials markets?
That is why this topic works. It starts as cute, shiny bags, first grade, department stores. Then it becomes a tiny window into family spending, color norms, and supply chains.
Also, if any child chooses a silver randoseru, I hope they walk into school with full confidence. That is a main character backpack.
And for listeners who did not grow up with randoseru, it is a reminder that school culture here has objects with real emotional weight. Next, Kanoko Nishikawa gave a very local report from Gobugobu Festival 2026 at Expo 70 Commemorative Park.
Festival report! I am ready for music, food stalls, sunburn, and at least one transportation strategy.
You are weirdly accurate. Nishikawa said the festival moved into a larger area, the East Plaza at Expo 70 Park, and the scale felt about twice as big as before.
Twice as big is not a small change. That is the difference between I found my friend and I hope my friend starts a signal fire.
She noticed small trucks from mobile carriers with antennas, which tells you the event had grown enough to need serious connectivity support.
That is the modern festival question. Can you hear the music? Can you find the bathroom? And can your phone still send one photo?
She also talked about sound control. Even though the festival was larger, she said the sound leakage did not feel overwhelming for normal park visitors. She saw equipment measuring sound near the entrance.
That is very Japan. Huge outdoor music festival, but also please measure whether the park is still okay for everyone else.
The most interesting part was the audience etiquette. Nishikawa said Gobugobu Festival has an older age profile than many festivals, so it is easier for her generation to attend.
Finally, a festival where your knees are part of the planning committee.
There had been online debate about people watching while sitting on leisure sheets. Nishikawa explained the rule as she understood it. During the interval between artists, sitting is fine. But when staff say the next act starts in a few minutes, people should fold the sheet and stand.
So the conflict is not simply sitting versus standing. It is whether everyone knows the timing and the shared rule.
Exactly. She wondered whether the rule had been communicated clearly enough, especially for people who do not often attend festivals.
I appreciate that the real drama is not rock and roll chaos. It is leisure sheet governance.
Then came the survival guide. Nishikawa said one year her friend went on a brutally sunny day, while she went on a cold, rainy day and had to use rain gear and even garbage bags because umbrellas were not allowed.
That is such a Kansai outdoor event reality. You prepare for sun, rain, mud, heat, and possibly all four before the encore.
This year, she went on a very hot day. Because she lives near Expo Park, she knew the shops, toilets, shade, and shortcuts. She could step out, rest under cherry trees near the activity area, and avoid the worst lines.
Local knowledge wins. That is not tourism. That is home field advantage.
She even parked at Yamada Station instead of driving straight to the park, then praised the Osaka Monorail staff at Banpaku Kinen Koen Station for crowd guidance after the show.
Oh, I love that the review includes the performers and the station staff. In Kansai, a good event ends when everyone gets home without losing their patience.
That is why this was more than a concert recap. It was a field report on how a huge local event actually feels when you know the park like a neighborhood. Our fourth story is a person story. Fukunchu, Yoshimoto Kogyo's resident comedian for Higashi Yodogawa Ward in Osaka City.
Resident comedian for a ward? I need that explained, because in English, that sounds like City Hall hired someone to improve the vibes.
That is not too far off. Osaka City and Yoshimoto have a partnership, and each of the city's 24 wards can have a sumimasu geinen, a comedian connected to local promotion and community activity.
That is extremely Osaka. Local government, neighborhood identity, and comedy all in the same file folder.
Fukunchu's name has a personal origin too. He said his actual name is Fuku, one character, and his father is from Tokunoshima while his mother is from Amami Oshima. The name plays on Shimanchu, meaning island person.
That is a good stage name. It has family, geography, and a little bounce in the sound.
He also said Fukunchu was originally a duo name. After the duo broke up, he kept using it as his solo stage name.
How many duo breakups are we talking about?
24, according to him. He joked that he might have the most comedy duo breakups in Japanese history. Some lasted only a day or two, and the longest was about half a year.
24? At that point, your career is not a timeline, it is a tournament bracket.
The hosts laughed about it, but the story also showed persistence. After those years, he continued as a solo performer for around 15 or 16 years.
I respect that. comedy keeps saying no and he keeps saying duomu. What do you think?
That catchphrase matters. He used it in anti-scam awareness videos for Higashi Yodogawa, and the broadcast said he received 3 certificates of appreciation from Higashi Yodogawa Police Station. So the joke phrase becomes a public safety tool. That is a very specific local media ecosystem. He also holds World Heritage Test Level 1. The hosts gave him space to do a mini quiz. Is Mount Fuji a natural World Heritage Site or a cultural one?
I am gonna guess cultural because if I say natural and Haru pauses, I will know I failed.
You are safe. It is cultural because of mountain worship and its influence on Japanese art. Fukunchu said he once hoped to become a mystery hunter type of travel presenter, but the show ended after he got the qualification.
Oh, that is so painful. You level up for the dream job, and the dream job leaves the building.
What makes the story work is the scale contrast. World Heritage sites are global. Higashi Yodogawa Award quizzes, police videos, water workshops, and local sweets projects are extremely neighborhood level.
And that is local radio at its best. It says, here is a person whose life is both very funny and very useful to one ward.
For English listeners, the key idea is that comedy in Osaka is not only television. It can be woven into ward events, safety campaigns, and everyday civic life. Our 5th story is one of those local radio walks where a familiar station becomes a whole map of memory. Kenji Moriwaki and Hiroyuki Watanabe around Sakai Higashi.
This is one of my favorite kinds of radio. Walking around a place and noticing things people usually rush past. Sakai Higashi is close to Namba, right?
The broadcast said it took less than about 15 minutes from Namba. Moriwaki sounded surprised by how urban and polished the station area felt.
That is a classic local discovery moment. You finally get off at a station you have passed for years and realize it has been living a whole life without you.
They noticed 551 Harai before the ticket gates, sweet shops, and the feel of a proper city center. Then, a welcome to Sakai sign led into Sakai history.
Sakai has a very strong identity, right? Not just near Osaka, but Sakai.
Exactly. The hosts brought up Sen no Rikyu and Yosuno Akiko and talked about how people from Sakai often carry a distinct local pride. It is Osaka Prefecture, but it is not simply Osaka City.
I like that. Kansai geography is full of those identity layers. Same region, different pride, different jokes.
In the Sakai Ginza shopping street, they saw posters for Rikyu Yosei, a rakugo event that had reached its 265th performance and started in the first year of Heisei.
265th? That is not a one-off event. That is a local institution with folding chairs and memory.
They also found Live-za, a Taishu Engeki theater. Taishu Engeki is popular theater, often with dramatic acting, music, dance, and loyal regular audiences.
So in one shopping street, you have rakugo, popular theater, food, local history, and probably someone who knows everybody.
Pretty much. Then they passed signs for Cycling City Sakai, which connected to Shimano, the bicycle parts company rooted in Sakai. The South Side also had public buildings like legal and tax offices.
This walk is doing a lot. Comedy, urban planning, cycling industry, tax office. Very balanced cardio.
At the south exit, they called the scramble crossing Osaka's Shibuya. It was a joke, but it captured how lively the station front felt to them.
Every city deserves one place where someone can say, "This is our Shibuya," and everyone else politely decides not to argue.
Then, a woman holding a baby approached Moriwaki. She had come from Tennoji and said she remembered him from the old drama Onegai Demon, not just from the obvious famous shows.
That is a beautiful local radio moment. A street walk becomes a memory exchange.
The segment also touched on Kobukuro. The host said Sakai Higashi is sacred ground for the duo because they used to sing near the station rotary, and Sakai City now actively presents Sakai Higashi as part of Kobukuro's hometown story.
That is exactly why this topic works. If you are new to Kansai, Sakai Higashi might just be a station name. After this, it becomes a place with layers.
A station can be a shortcut, a meeting point, a shopping street, a comedy memory, a music origin story, and a city identity marker all at once. Our final story keeps Kenji Moriwaki in the spotlight, but changes the setting completely. Rockin' High School and the culture of Japanese school athletics.
This is the relay record, right?
Yes. The broadcast said Rockin' High School set a new Japanese high school record in the boys' 4x100-meter relay, 39.17 seconds at the Kyoto Inter-High qualifying meet.
39.17 seconds? That is fast enough that my body heard it and filed a complaint.
Moriwaki said he watched the final in person. What made it personal is that Rakunan is his alma mater, and he once held a Kyoto High School relay record himself, 42.2 seconds.
So he is not just reporting the record, he is measuring his own teenage self against it.
Exactly. He said today's 8th place Kyoto time would have beaten the record from his own era, which showed him how much the level has risen.
That is humbling. Your proud high school record becomes, congratulations, you are now historically inspirational, but competitively eliminated.
The broadcast also said Rakunan won the Kyoto Inter-High overall title for the 46th consecutive time. Moriwaki framed that streak as part of the school's long athletics identity.
For listeners outside Japan, this is where bukatsu matters, right? School clubs here can be incredibly intense.
Very intense. Moriwaki did not describe his 3 years as simply hard. He said they were heavy. He talked about a shaved head, leaving from Hirakata Gotenyama Station at 6:13 in the morning, and getting home around 9 or 10 at night.
That is not an after-school activity. That is a second citizenship.
He said Saturdays and Sundays were also practice or meets, and vacations meant training camps. That schedule shaped everything, including romance.
I sense heartbreak entering the track lane.
In middle school, he had a girlfriend from Hirakata. They promised to keep dating in high school. But once he entered Rockin', the schedule swallowed his life. She eventually told him they lived in different worlds.
That phrase is brutal because it is not even dramatic, it is just accurate.
Then, after Golden Week, at a grade-level track meet in Uji, he noticed a girl from Rakusu High School with a Seiko-chan hairstyle. He said she was exactly his type.
Important athletic scouting report. Relay split, wind condition, and face type.
Obi.
Sorry, continue.
Through a classmate's older sister, he eventually met her again and asked her to date him. She said yes, but the same problem returned. Early practice, late practice, weekend meets, training camps. She also decided their worlds were too different.
It is funny, but it also explains the emotional cost of that club culture. The team record is not only a number, it sits on top of years of daily sacrifice.
That is why this was more than a sports item. Rakkonen's 39.17 was the headline, but Moriwaki turned it into a story about what Japanese high school athletics can ask of a teenager.
And somehow he made a national record, a shaved head, a 613 train, and 2 breakups, all part of one local memory.
For listeners in Kansai, Rakkonen is a familiar school name. For English listeners, it becomes a way to understand how serious school clubs can be here and why alumni still feel connected decades later. Today, we moved from a water clock at Osaka Station to metallic randoseru, Expo Park Festival know-how, award comedians' civic work, Sakai Higashi street life, and Rakkonen's relay record.
My takeaway is that Kansai keeps hiding big stories inside ordinary places. A station plaza, a school bag counter, a monorail platform, a shopping street, a high school track.
And when local radio slows down enough to notice those places, they become easier to understand, even if you did not grow up here.
Also, I will now respect every randoseru, every festival staff member, and every former track kid who looks slightly haunted by morning practice.
That is a fair emotional summary. Thanks for listening to Obi to Haru. Take care, and we will meet you again next time.